This is Legal Matters, brought to you by Justice and Law Solicitors. 1 share a day, keep ignorance away. Yes. As soon as you join us, share the program for us.
Maracos, Piao, and I'm just now, I was your say, who said, the way I barbecue theatre, if I see a bremas, to go to my power, who don't know. I walk up one morning, 2 for James Smith, Jamie Dow.
As soon as you join us, share the program for us.
And I'm just now, woman, I was your say, who said, the way I barbecue theatre, if I see a bremas, to go to my power, who don't know. I walk up one morning.
1 share a day, Mr. Richmond Asamoah. Good morning to you. What do we have for you today? School teachers. Can you come to the UK? And the tier 2 visa? Who qualified as a school teacher to teach in the United Kingdom?
I'm going to say why. I say why we don't do them.
Yes.
We are going to say why. Canada say why.
Yes.
Because you are breaching. Yeah, but another say why. We don't do them.
As soon as you join us, share the program for us. Very quick 6 seconds. We have been too good. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
No. So see how life will come.
Share the program for us. As soon as you join us, let's educate one another. Let's educate each other. All that you can do is to share the program. Free legal advice from the camp of King David. Double D to the power of 2. Justice and Law Solicitors. Unit 35E49 FL Road, Brixton, London, SW2 1BZ. We thank you all for your continued support. It has been a fantastic week, and all thanks be to you for your continued referral. Today, we are going to be looking at teachers. how to get a job in the United Kingdom, how to get sponsorship. Share the program so that your brother, your sister can also benefit from it. Yes. Many a times, the question that people ask is, how do I get a job in the United Kingdom? Today, we are going to be looking at that. Agencies that are recruiting for teachers to come to the United Kingdom to work. You're not gonna get that anywhere but from years. Justice and law solicitors, dating and courtship, Mr. Afrani Frempo, Happy New Year to you. John Hobby, good morning to you. Yes. Share the program for us. Let's go. One share a day. Keep ignorance away. Education is power. The application of knowledge is powerful. Obi biara, ye did not see Emma Obi biara. Yasa abebiem Justice and Law Solicitors. Lawyer Dako, Lawyer Bako Pe, Mina Majima Koyen. Last week's program was fantastic. It went viral. Through that, I have received a lot of following, and through that, I have received a lot of referral. And I can only thank you, the listeners, for making that possible. For the first time, I have a lot of Nigerians not only calling us to book appointment, but listening to the program all the way from Nigeria. And to be precise, Abeokuta, Ondo State, Lagos, and Apapa. We had a lot of listeners from Nigeria this week. And for the first time for a very long time, we've had a lot of men listening to the program. Someone is watching me. The person may be wondering, how do I get these statistics? And you'll be surprised, because we have a mechanism that we are able to pinpoint the number of people listening, the countries and the locations that they are listening from, and the number of men and women and even age group who are listening to this wonderful program called The Legal Matters, brought to you by Justice and Law Solicitors, Lawyer David Obeng-Darko. So for that, like I always say, give credit to where it is due. It was only possible because you made it so. When I checked this morning, last week's program has reached about 3,600 people only on Facebook. Forget about YouTube. Only on Facebook. 3,600 people that we have reached. And with your help, with your support, I believe that this week we can even do better. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because last week's program Mainly, I did it in Twi language. This is one of the criticisms that people raise, that we follow the program, but sometimes we find it very difficult to understand what you are saying in the Ghanaian language. But I try to justify why sometimes I had to do that. So today, I will do the best that I can. Let's mix it up, let's roll it, so that it can benefit anyone and everyone that we care about. So if, for example, maybe it is getting too deep in the English language and you are getting confused, just give me a shout at the comment section and say, lawyer, maybe you should explain this in Twi for us, so that we can understand it better what you are saying. Because I am caught in two worlds, whether to go international or to go local. And the aim is to help our local people and also international people in their diaspora. And as a result, I don't know whether to go to Elimina or to go to Takoradi in the west of Ama Ata Edo, the dilemma of August. So sometimes we are confused, we are torn in between, and we try to do the best that we can. Nana Hima, good morning to you. Mrs. Watson, Nana Teresa Sakwabia. Thank you very much for the referral. May the Lord Almighty God bless you all. And we will do the best that we can to justify any referral that come our way. I always say this, where I am not on the high street, but I have survived for the past 13 years, and this has been possible because of your input. Nana Ajiman, thank you very much for sharing the program, and also for your wonderful work that you do for all the professionals in the Ghanaian community. We thank you and we appreciate you. See, go local and international, so mix it up and let's mash it up. Today, what we are bringing you today is extraordinary because it is an opportunity for our brothers and sisters who may be teaching outside the United Kingdom. And perhaps they may want to come to the UK to continue their teaching profession. The question is, how do they go about in making that thought a reality? Today, I am here today to help those people. And it's not only people from Ghana, or perhaps Nigeria, or perhaps Guinea, or perhaps Mali, but anyone and everyone who is interested in teaching in the United Kingdom. A lot of noise have been made about this visa and the rule change that is coming up on 1st of February 2023. Someone pointed it out to me last week, lawyer. You have briefly touched this subject, but you have not gone into details as to how the application can be made. And also, how do you get the employment from the first place? Because I've had people calling me, wanting to know how they can find employment, wanting to know how they can get a job, how they can get sponsorship. And many a times what I've said to people is this: I am not a recruiter and I don't have any links with organizations that recruit from outside the United Kingdom. But what I can do is to point you to the right places where you can secure the certificate of sponsorship. And once you get that, then of course, you can get in touch with lawyer David Darker of Justice and Law Solicitors, so that we can then do what? We can then take it to the second level and do what? And do the application for you so that you can secure your visa. We will guide you about the process post-visa and how to get to the United Kingdom safely. So before I go into the topic, many people have been asking, how do I get a job? So today, I am going to post the jobs, the links on the comment section. So please, I will ask you if you are interested or if a family member is interested, simply or kindly look at the comment section on your right-hand side of your screen. I have posted at least 10 agencies that are currently recruiting teachers from outside the United Kingdom to come to the UK to teach. After the show, if anyone ring me asking for this information, unfortunately, I will not be able to provide that information again. All that I will do is to send the person back to the program and listen to the program and follow the instructions and the directions that I will be given. Why? Because time is precious. And now that we are putting this out, anytime that I need to research more and bring you more information and more opportunities. So if after the show, people still have to ring and ask me to go back and give information that I have already given, it makes life very difficult for us. And it makes it very tough for us. Because it does not allow us, it does not give us sufficient time to do more research and bring you more stuff that will help people. So please, you need to understand this. And please, you have to bear with us. Because at the end of the day, like I say, as long as there are limited opportunities in our home country, I will keep doing what I do and do the best that I can to present better opportunities to people back home. So if you just tune in, I ask that you share the program. I have posted jobs that or agencies that are recruiting on your right hand side of the screen. I don't know whether you can see it all. If not, I'm gonna have to post it one at a time, because so far I can see, or it appears that only one is showing. So bear with me. Yes, it looks like only one is showing. So bear with me, and thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm going to post it one at a time so that people will have the benefit of getting to know the organizations or agencies that are recruiting. So whilst I'm doing that, I ask that you share the program for me. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to play this tune so that, we can, if you like, yes, it is an agency link. They are the ones that at the moment, they are recruiting. Most organizations these days, they use agency because they don't want the headache of, interviewing people and so on and so forth. So they tend to use agencies. So all I will say is that those agencies that I'm putting up, please take the details. I'm putting the link up, and I think it will make it even easy for you. Just click on the link and just simply apply as much as you can. And I believe that it will be beneficial to your brother, man, your sister, who may be interested in working at the United Kingdom. My job is to help you understand the process. And when you go through the agencies and you secure your certificate of sponsorship, that is the point. Don't forget that it was Lawyer Darko who gave you the lead And therefore, when it comes to the application, don't outsmart me and don't try to be smart with me. Don't go and mess it up and then call lawyer Darko. The lawyer, you give me the lead and that I was going to come to you, but my wife told me that his uncle is a lawyer. We went to my wife's uncle and everything is now a mess up. So I'm wondering if you could help me. You know, that excuse, personally, I don't buy that anymore. Because every man has got the right to decide his own destiny. And nobody can put a gun to your head to go to another person. Because when it gets messed up, then you have the, the braveness to come to me to help. But when it wasn't crucial, you try to blame your wife, try to blame your husband, blame someone else. And this is an excuse that was given by Adam and Eve. It's an old story. So personally, I don't buy that no more. Because every man has got a right to determine, to make his own decision. So if you go and it messes up, and you come back to us, don't tell no stories, don't blame no one, but blame yourself. Because where you start is where you must finish. If you started with us today, then finish with us. You know, because when we show you the way, it means we know where we are going and we know where we come from. So today, this is a free legal advice. You join us, share the program for us. Because I'm repeat, you know, and for sure more boni we ne kotija na fato and some kika. And I'm you can you me come de buy. Massa, I don't buy that stories no more. At the end of the day, you have the right to make that determination. Every man has got the right to make that determination. Said you really can be an wuti asanka fi nka semini sana sometimes na etie. Until the reality is you get the leads from here. We are going to show you how to go about it, how to basically secure your sponsorship. Once it works out for you, don't forget that it's through justice and law that you get to where you need to get to. And therefore, when it comes to the application, at least we have played some role in it. And therefore, you also have to bring it to us so that we can also get something small for all the hard work that we do. So that's all that we got to say. So I have taken my time and I have put all the links, I believe, out there. All that you have to do is to click on the link, look for the jobs, go for the interviews, and we will do the best that we can to guide you as much as we can for you to get the certificate of sponsorship. Once you get that, like I said, don't forget, you know, penny for the oye shama dia no on yadie on pipani sapa sa so na penny se oyiri dowa se ukita banche abampo eda wo kon ho a ohun ni se banche aba o demo ohun ni se eyetuo enti no sa netie se justice and lawyer ma lisi na se ekoyie mawa mema uwre mfi I say you remember us. Na ososo no odi adwumani bi abrɛ na yeso yenye bi aye eno na ma ya hoden e ma ye nyansa any encouragement e ma tem bi aide dwumadie yi ebremo through Fire Life Radio, through Justice and Law Solicitors and the Adako Facebook page. If you've joined us, also make sure that you follow us on Facebook so that every time that we bring you any update, you will receive a notification. So that is all that I got to say today. I have already posted the links so that you can also do what? Benefit from it. Now, like I said, a lot of people struggle to get to where we need to get to. So today, I need to send the links to all those people on my WhatsApp, because still people struggle to get it. And every time they complain, So if you are not on my WhatsApp and you want me to add you, just send me a message through WhatsApp. Lawyer, my name is John. My number is ABCD. Add me to your WhatsApp so that when you send notification, I can receive it. The WhatsApp number is, I'm starting with international, 0044 79538 969 589. So I have also posted this on the comment section. So those watching us who may wish for us to add them to our WhatsApp contacts, you can also send me a text through WhatsApp and I will add you. So there are people who find it difficult with technology. They always ask that I send them the link. Like I said, I'm going to play maybe 5-10 minutes song, and then I will use that opportunity to do what? To share the program to those people on my WhatsApp. So let's go to Achidie Chiramatim. Or say or continue. Yes. So I will play that song, and then when we come back, we will continue the program. Thank you very much for sharing the program. Now let's start the program. But before we go to the teacher's topic, let's look at some of the questions that people have sent to me. And let me just address those questions as fast as I can. Then we go to the main topic before I forget. One, I've been asked that if someone is living in another country and he is not a national of that country, can he still make an application from a foreign country to come to the United Kingdom? Typical example is maybe someone is a Ghanaian living in maybe Qatar or Saudi Arabia, and the person wants to migrate to the UK, either through tier 2, either through the skilled worker visa route, or either through spousal route. Is it possible for the person to make an application from a third country, such as Qatar, a Ghanaian living in Qatar, to come to the UK without going back to Qatar? It's you know, a question that people are asking, because some of the Ghanaian teachers are now in UAE, United Arab Emirates, and I've just had a telephone text message through WhatsApp whether that is possible. Yes, it is possible. If you are living in any country, and as long as the country that you are living at, you have permission to be in that country, i.e. you have permit of stay to be in that country, then of course you will be able to make an application from that country to come to the United Kingdom, either as a spouse or as a tier 2 worker or any other type of visa that you may qualify to apply. So that will not be what do we call it, a disadvantage. That will not be a disadvantage, because you can do what you can apply. So that is out of the way. So if now, after going through what we are going to go through today, you believe that you are teaching in South Africa, you are teaching in Dubai, you are teaching in Oman, and you want to come to the United Kingdom to teach, as long as you are living in the third country legally, you have permission to be there, and you have not broken their immigration laws, then there is nothing stopping you from making an application to come to the United Kingdom to teach, should you wish to do so. So that answers your question. Second question that I have been asked: can justice and law help those people living in third countries who may wish to come to the United Kingdom to join their spouses or to teach? The answer is yes. Justice and law, we are international. Justice and law solicitors, when it comes to the areas of the United Kingdom, immigration and nationality law, we are one of the big boys in the field, because our client base is large. We have people from all different sorts of countries who come to us to seek our professional help in the areas of immigration and nationality. So the answer is yes. No matter where you come from, as long as you need immigration advice, justice and law, we will be there for you. No matter your identity, justice and law, we will be there for you. We will make sure you get your visa. That's the way it is. We will make sure that you get your visa, regardless of your nationality, regardless of your immigration issue. Get in touch with Justice and Law Solicitors, and we will do the best that we can. And any referral, we will make sure that the referral is also justified. Now, like they say, the elephant in the room, the main topic today. People are crowded. People are waiting. What do we have for you today? If you are a teacher and you want to come to the United Kingdom to teach, can you come to the UK? And when we say a teacher, who is a qualified teacher? According to the immigration rules, in order to be deemed to be a teacher and to be able to teach in the United Kingdom, then of course you must be a teacher in your home country or the country that you are based. If you are a teacher and you are recognized in that country by a professional recognized body, then of course you are a teacher, and therefore in that sense you should be able to work in the United Kingdom. Many a times some people think by having the qualification in itself is enough. I say qualification without experience is like a man without roots. It's for this reason that even our brothers and sisters who were sold into slavery, who were enslaved over 400 years ago, are now going to Ghana in particular, the year of return and the year after return, beyond return. People still feel the need to go to Ghana, countries like Ghana, to touch base with their ancestry root. It's important. So it is important that you have experience. That is the reason why people in the diaspora, some of them may not know where they actually come from, but they want to be connected with the continent of Africa. And therefore, people are now going back and going back and going back. Not because of anything, but because they want to experience it. And in Ghana, now, when you talk about Ghana, everyone is talking about the Bojo Beach. The Bojo Beach area, that is the new inn. When the people from the diaspora fly in, straight away they go to Bojo Beach and its surroundings. It's just a matter of time. Bojo Beach and its surroundings, because it's a private beach, everything is clean and neat and nice. And therefore, these people feel connected. They feel like they need to experience it. And therefore, the United Kingdom as we know it, when you are coming to teach in this country, they need someone who has had experience in teaching. So if you have just qualified and you don't have teaching experience in the classroom, please, I beg, try and get teaching experience before you even start looking for jobs in the United Kingdom. Thirdly, you must have a clean record of certificate. UK would not want to employ someone or someone to come to this country if the person is called dirty record. School teachers sleeping with school children. Pedophilia. In Ghana, they don't call it like that. But if you are a teacher and you are messing with students, this country will not tolerate this sort of behavior. This country will see it as an abuse of power, abuse of position. So this is something that this country, you go to jail for it. Now go to jail. Ganja no more. So this country will not tolerate this. But in some countries, people do it and they get away with murder. So if you're a teacher, you want to come here to teach, and perhaps you just have to be careful, because these things are not tolerated in this country. And therefore, for me, it's important that you also understand the culture and the dynamics within the culture. What is accepted and what is not accepted. So as we are going through how to get there, to get here, you must also know what is expected of you as a teacher. If you are fortunate enough to get sponsorship, if you are fortunate enough for justice and law to lead you to your destiny, then of course it comes with responsibilities and obligations. So for me, it's important that as we teach you about how to get the visa, we also point out about your obligations to the community that you are coming to teach in, and also to the children that you are coming to teach. Because you joke, you go to jail. Jamaican man will say, now go to jail, ganja no more. You can't come here and do drugs if you're a teacher. You're gonna go to jail. You don't joke. So that is how it is. So now, you must have a clean record. You have to have the school to be able to give you a good record, a good testimony. You know, so it's very, very important that wherever you are, wherever you be, you comport yourself. You have to be a hard worker, so that if someone is giving you a testimony, if someone is giving you a reference, the person can be bold enough to say that Mr. Appiah is a wonderful teacher. Mr. Appiah taught Lawyer Darko English, maths, and perhaps key language. So if you see me speaking in key, speaking in Proverbs, I'll have to give credit to Mr. Appiah Donko. You know, so you look at my profile picture on Facebook, the man sitting in the middle is one of the teachers that has had impact in my life. Based on his guidance and advice, today I am where I am today. So times like this, you look back and you see the teaching profession, people who have made impact, positive impact in your life. You know, and I thank him for the impact that he's also had in my life. That is the reason why today I've changed my profile picture. My son is on the one side, and my teacher is in the middle, and I am on the other side. I am here in the UK. I am not in Ghana. I'm not on holidays or anything like that. But I just felt that there was a need to look back, and people who have made a positive difference in our lives, we remember them and appreciate them from time to time. So that is the reason. Now, after having the clean record, what else do you have to have? You also have to have something called qualified teacher's status. The qualified teacher's status, in order to get it, you have to do an exam. In order for you to be deemed to be a qualified teacher. And over the last week or two, I have made it very, very clear that there is going to be a rule change. So from 1st of February, teachers from countries like Ghana, Niger, Zimbabwe, Hong Kong, and so on and so forth, they are going to be added to countries such as the USA, Australia, who are already recognized as qualified teachers. Because there were some countries before 1st of February who are deemed to be competent enough in teaching in the United Kingdom. So therefore, those teachers from those jurisdictions could apply to teach in the United Kingdom, because by operation of the rules, they were deemed to have the necessary qualification and the experience to teach in the United Kingdom. So from 1st of February, countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe from Africa, we are going to be deemed to be what? To be qualified teachers and therefore we will fall within the status. And therefore, so from 1st of February, if you're a Ghanaian and you want to teach in the United Kingdom, you don't need to prove by way of, sitting the qualified teachers exams and qualify in order to teach. You can actually do what? Apply for a job. And if you look on the screen, on the comment section, I have posted organizations that are recruiting. So please, if you have a family member, someone who teaches outside the United Kingdom, the person is interested in, locating to the United Kingdom to teach, then of course, please do the best that you can and pass it to the person so that the person can also apply. One thing that I will say is as follows. Justice and law solicitors, unfortunately, we don't do recruitment. So when people call and ask me, lawyer, I want to, teach in the United Kingdom, help me. Unfortunately, at that stage, I will not be able to help. We have recruitment agencies. They do the recruitment, so they will be able to help you. It's for this reason that I have posted the agencies who specializes in teacher recruitment in the United Kingdom. They will be able to help. They will be able to get you the job. You will go through the interview experience and the interview process, and they will be able to help you to secure the job. Once you secure the job, they will give you something called certificate of sponsorship. That means they have got you a job. They are going to ensure that you get your visa. However, they are not immigration lawyers, and therefore, unfortunately, they cannot apply for the visa for you. They will ask whether you have your own lawyer to apply for the visa for you. And the answer will have to be yes. And we come to justice and law solicitors, and we will do what? And we will do the application for you and make sure that the experience doesn't become too tedious. We will do the best that we can for you, and we will make sure that you succeed and get the visa to come to the United Kingdom and teach, for your dreams to become a reality. Justice and law solicitors, Lawyer Darko, I will play my part. I will play my role to make sure that your dream will become a reality. Now, how do you migrate as a teacher to the United Kingdom? The immigration rules will have to be followed. The immigration rules will have to be followed. And once you are deemed to be a qualified teacher, or if from 1st of February, Ghana becomes a qualified teacher status, and you are a Ghanaian and you have a teaching experience and qualification from Ghana, then of course you can teach in the United Kingdom in one of the academies, one of the free schools, and even a private school. So we say teachers. The teachers is not limited. This is the key. It is not limited only to secondary school, university, and so on and so forth. When we say teacher, you could be a nursery teacher. You could be a private school nursery teacher, as long as the organization has applied for sponsorship. So you are watching me, you run a nursery, you want to recruit someone from outside the United Kingdom. The question that people are asking me, can you also recruit? The answer is yes. Do you have to employ an agency to recruit for you? The answer is no. So even if you are a private provider, a nursery provider, and you also want to employ someone from outside the United Kingdom to come and teach in your establishment, Of course, the rules also allows you to apply for sponsorship license, and you will be able to also employ a teacher, whether a nursery teacher, whether a secondary school teacher, a primary school teacher, or a university teacher, to come to the United Kingdom and teach. Now, you are outside the United Kingdom, you are looking for opportunities to come and teach in the United Kingdom. What do? One of the links that I have put out there, you can do what? You can click on those links, look for job opportunities, get in touch with those agencies, tell them what you are looking for, and they will ask questions about your qualifications and experience. I always say this: experience is the best teacher. Anyone can get the qualification, but do you have the temperament? Do you have the guts to teach? Do you have the patience to teach? You know, I always say this, that some people may have the knowledge, but they may not have the ability to teach. Some people may have the ability to teach, but they struggle to gain the knowledge. If you are lucky enough and blessed enough by the Almighty God and the Spirit of the Most High, you have a bit of both. Thank your lucky stars. There is something called charisma, and it's not everyone that has got it. Some people, when they speak, whether it's good or bad, people stop and pay attention and listen. Some people, they will speak. They may talk sense. They may make sense. But yet, they may not have the charisma that goes with it. And as much as sense that they will make, nobody listens to them. So if you are watching me today and you are a teacher and you don't have the charisma, you will struggle. And therefore, you have to go and learn how to build up your charisma, how to build up your confidence. Because in this country, people will push you. You have to have the patience and you have to have the knowledge. Combine it and you make a good teacher. So a QTS from 1st of February, a Ghanaian teacher is automatically deemed to be a qualified teacher in the United Kingdom. Apply for the jobs. And some countries, some people are exempted, some people are not exempted. Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe in Africa, you are exempted from 1st of February 2023. Hong Kong, you are also exempted from 1st of February 2023. Those who are already on the list of the exemptions, who are deemed to be qualified teachers, yes, you have never had this issue to deal with, to contend with. But from 1st of February, good news for Ghanaians, Nigerians, and Zimbabweans. We are deemed to be a qualified teacher in the United Kingdom. If you want more information about who is a qualified teacher, who is not, you can go to the UK Boarding Agency website and just put in QTS, and the information will be there for you to know. Just in case you are watching me, Jamaica is also part of the QTS from 1st of February. I cannot remember all the countries offhand, but I can remember Jamaica, Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe. You know, so that is the reason why I'm mentioning those countries. But there are other, Hong Kong is also part of it. And there are 2 or 3 different countries also part of the list that are going to be added from the 1st of February 2023. So I beg, if you are watching me and you are part of it and I've not mentioned your country, I beg your pardon. It's something that sometimes it's difficult to remember all these. When you are operating machines, you are remembering, you are making reference to your notes and so on and so forth. Sometimes it's very, very difficult. But we try and do the best that we can to bring you the best from Justice and Law Solicitors through the medium of Fair Life Radio, Justice and Law Solicitors, and David Darko Facebook homepage. Go to Fair Life Radio, subscribe to the channel. Go to David Darko Home Facebook page, subscribe to the channel, and Justice and Law Facebook page, subscribe to the channel and follow us, because every time that there's an update, we will bring it to you. We will break it down to the lowest denomination so that you get a better understanding in the United Kingdom. Now, since Ghana is going to be a QTS country, then of course, from 1st of February, you can apply. The countries that are already on the list is the EEA member countries. They already have that privilege of being deemed to be a qualified teacher. Gibraltar is also on the list. Australia is on the list. Canada is on the list. New Zealand on the list. Switzerland on the list. The USA on the list. So those countries, people from those countries are deemed to be, qualified teachers if they can prove that they teach in their home country and that they have the qualification and the experience. Straight away, they can teach in the UK without having to do the QTS exams. From 1st of February, Ghana is also going to be a QTS country. So if you are not on the list, you have to do the QTS test before you can come and teach in the United Kingdom. In order to be able to teach or to do the QTS test, just in case you are watching me and your country is not on the QTS, you have to have at least 2 years work experience, an educational degree from a UK or non-UK university, obtain a standard equivalent of grade 4 in GCSE English. GCSE is the O-level in today's terms in West Africa. They call it the WASI JHS Junior High School Test. You must have English, and to be able to teach 3 to 11-year-olds, or have taught 3 to 11 to teach 3 to 11 age children a standard equivalent to grade 4 in GCSE science, biology, chemistry, and physics subject. So GCSE, like I said, is the O level. That is what we used to call it, and things have changed these days. So QTS from Ghana, you don't have to be worried about that no more. So from 1st of February, from Ghana, you qualified QTS. So you don't have to bother yourself. Don't bother with the assessment. You should be able to apply for a job. And once you get the job, they will issue you with certificate of sponsorship called the course certificate. Once you get the course certificate, of course, the employer will then also have to give you an employment contract, and basically to be able to apply for a visa, the employer will give you something called certificate of sponsorship, and the certificate of sponsorship will enable you to apply for your visa. In order to apply for the visa, one, you need a certificate of sponsorship, which is the course certificate. That is one. Two, you need to do a criminal record check to make sure that you have a clean criminal record. Of course, your qualifications, i.e., your school certificate to show that you qualify for the job, and also you qualify for the job, and also you are being paid the right amount of money by the employer depending on the scale and the type of work that you are coming to do. Maintenance and also accommodation. If the employer certify that, that means you don't need to have certain amount of money in your bank account for a certain period of time. So this is something that people have to watch out for. It's an opportunity that is coming our way from 1st of February. If you are a teacher and you want to teach in the United Kingdom. The question that people may also ask is, if you're already in the United Kingdom and you want to teach, are there any route for you? We have a route called a high potential individual visa, and this is available for those international students who are already in the United Kingdom, and they may have an option to work in the UK as a teacher, and it will come under the high potential individual visa area. Not everyone can apply for this visa, because in order to apply for this visa as a high potential individual, you must have a BA, which is Bachelor of Arts, or Masters of Arts, or PhD from a university listed in the Global Universities List. As we know, if you have a degree from a certain university around the globe, then you could apply. The list is a lot of universities. I don't have it on top of my head, but as usual, so-called universities that are deemed to be exclusive. In this country, for example, someone will mention something about the Russell Group. The Russell Group, you are looking at University of London, you are looking at Nottingham, you are looking at University of Manchester, you are looking at Durham, you are looking at Newcastle, you are looking at Bristol, so there are certain universities that they call the Russell Group University, apart from Oxford and Cambridge. So if you have a degree from one of these universities, or masters or PhD from one of these universities, and you are a foreign student in this country and you want to teach, then you fall within the high potential individual visa scheme. You can go through that to teach in the United Kingdom. You must also have received your certificate not older than 5 years ago at the time of the application, and B, language proficiency certificate in English. If you are already a UK qualified, i.e. you have a degree, at least a degree from a UK university, you fall within the exemption, and therefore you do not have to pass the English test. But if it's outside the university, from outside the United Kingdom, then you have to get a certificate of comparability from ECTIS, used to be called NARIC. Therefore, you must have that. Thank you very much, Abigail Jolie. But see, they need to polish their English, because it's not easy to teach in England. It's true. I totally agree. I do remember after law school, one of my friends, a Ghanaian, and those days he was very fresh in the system, so his accent was very, very, very strong, and we were looking for a training contract, and he told me a story which is very sad, but I am just saying that to butter your point, Abigail. Every time that he gets the opportunity to attend an interview, from his experience, they were taking the biscuit out of him. He said that normally they will call him for interview on Fridays about 4 o'clock. And then when he attended the interview, he became the subject of a mockery because of his accent. It was very sad when he told me this story. I said, David, they were making mockery out of my accent. They will ask a question, I will answer it, and they will repeatedly make fun of me right in front of me. So I was like their entertainment for Friday before they go away on Saturday. So it's true what our sister is saying, not in a bad way. Sometimes when you are telling the truth, the non-ambitious people will drag you to a place that you do not intend or have no intention of going. They will make you look bad. But that is the reality. You have to tell your brother the truth. If you want to come and teach, you need to polish on your accents. You need to listen to BBC and CNN and learn how to pronounce certain things. Because if you come and teach and your accent is very, very strong, the students will laugh in your face. The students are going to tease you. The students are going to call you names. And it's going to be tough for you. And your visa depends on your teaching. And if you are unable to cope, your visa will collapse. And in that case, are you going to go back? Or are you going to stay? The dilemma of a ghost. Should I go to Takrade? Or should I go to Elimina? In the words of Ama Ata Edi. The dilemma of a ghost. It is a fact. And this, my friend, will go to an interview. They will make a mockery out of his accent. Because his accent was so strong. And when he pronounced certain words, even me as a Ghanaian, sometimes I look at it, I listen to him, and I say, you know what? Maybe try and polish your accent a bit. And the problem that we have in our community is when you try to polish your accent, some people think you are too low. And then the brofubia lawyer dako or kika ase wa ye broni umu uye Ghanaian na se oka country krana or say country instead of country. You have to learn. Because he live in a Babylon, do what the Romans do. If you come and you say garden eggs, they will laugh at you. They don't know what garden eggs is. If you say, what do you call it, groundnut, they're going to say, what are you talking about? No one will know groundnuts. But here you say peanuts. And therefore, when you come over and someone is calling groundnut peanuts, an intelligent man will listen and learn. Because you live in the Babylon, the Babylonian system. When you go to Ghana and you say groundnut, nobody cares because they will understand. But when you come to the UK, in Babylon, do what the Babylonians do. When they say peanut, you say peanut. It's just like someone going to supermarket. And the person want to buy spaghetti. And the person sitting there, please, do you know where the Talia is? He thought Talia is English. Why did you not ask the people that you were living with to say that, my friend, I need to buy Talia. So when I go to the supermarket, what do I say? And if you don't ask, believe in me, you are going to embarrass yourself in public. I always say this. I'd rather embarrass myself in my own home than to embarrass myself in public. It's very, very important. So when someone is trying to correct you, brothers and sisters, do not take no offense. If your accent is very strong and people are going to tease and laugh at you and your brother point it out to you, take it graciously. Don't take it personal. Because at the end of the day, if he does not correct you and you go out there, people are going to laugh at you. People are going to tease you. We have all been students before. Look at the way we used to teach our teachers. We used to call our teachers names. Look at the way we used to tease them. So it's very, very important point that has been raised by our sister Angela, our sister Abigail. And I thank you for this. Because it's very, very crucial and it's very, very important that if you want to come and teach here, our mannerisms, the way we do things, we have to change it. Because you cannot come with the Ghanaian attitude, with the Niger attitude, to come and live in UK. You will not survive. And therefore, we need to be able to, if you like, sophisticate ourselves. You know, and sometimes within our community, when you try to improve yourself, some people feel threatened by it, and therefore they abuse you behind your back. Oh, Mushelo ya no, or Chirene Hondodo, and a Ghanaian, ye fewana wo Cambrofosa, at the Wuntichi. Say any partner or criticize ono, or no, every wono, or the brofo na estati. Na the brofu shiana ni buofu, esa de na the brofu na shiano. I beg, we are all guilty of these things, so we can all learn from one another to make us better individuals and better people. So that's what I can say in that respect. There are certain things that we all have to learn. Education is infinity. You can never finish learning. And learning, education is like numbers. It never ends. It is only the fool that says he knows everything. But the wise man is prepared to learn from his mistakes and learn from others. So it is important that we all learn, because it will help us to become better people, better individuals, and better educationally, so that we can also apply wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to everything that we do in our lives to make our world a better place to live. So yes, you have the ambition to come to the United Kingdom to teach. You also have to understand that there are regional accents even in this country. Sometimes people may speak English, but the accent is different and it's difficult to understand. So if you are coming from Ghana, for example, and you have secured a job in Liverpool, you have to be careful. And you have to try the best that you can and learn the Liverpool accent and the slangs that they use in Liverpool. Because a slang is a language that is not official. And therefore, if you're a teacher and you are using the local slang and you are, you limit yourself to what you know, you're going to struggle. That is a fact. And therefore, like I say, sometimes people see me and I try my best to fit in wherever I go. And back in the days, I used to have a lot of friends who were Jamaicans. And as they speak, I was also picking up some of their accents and some of their slang terms that they were using. And as a result, these days, if I meet a Jamaican, it's easy for me to understand him. And it's also very easy for me to try and attempt to speak patois. It's not because I am, trying to be something that I am not. But sometimes when you speak the same language of someone, it makes the person feel comfortable. And justice and law solicitors, as I sit here and speak to you now, I have a lot of clients who are Jamaicans. Because when they come to the office, I speak like them. And therefore they feel related. But yet they know I'm a Ghanaian. You see, so a business strategy, I am able to also try and speak like them, and therefore it makes them feel comfortable, so it's all part of it. So if you're coming to teach in the UK, you also have to learn these things, so it's very, very, very important, so you try to be, not try to be like them, but, relate to them. You hear what I say? Try relate to them, stuff. So that you can, link up with them, make them feel comfortable, and you move. So it's very, very important that if you're coming to teach, learn. There is no end to learning. The next angle that you can also teach is called the Youth Mobility Scheme Visa. And this is a program that allows young people from few countries to visit the United Kingdom and study and work without having a sponsor or job offer. Once you have that, you can then move on to become a teacher under Tier 2. Youth mobility, Ghana is not part of it, Nigeria is not part of it, Jamaica is not part of it, and Zimbabwe is not part of it. So I'm not going to go too much into details. But if you are from a country that you want to make inquiry about, just go to Home Office website and say countries that qualifies for youth mobility. because of time factor, I'm gonna skip it and move on. Another one will be if you have a family visa, UK ancestry visa, or British national overseas visa, you can also switch to become a teacher in the United Kingdom. Now, let's look at the UK education system. The UK education system. Nursery school, we call the preschool, that teaches the age of 3 to 5. So if you run a preschool and you want to sponsor someone to come and teach in the United Kingdom, the school can also apply for sponsorship license. And once you get a sponsorship license, get in touch with Lawyer Darko, Justice and Law Solicitors, double D to the power of 2. We can do what? We can help you to achieve your dreams. We can help you with the sponsorship license certificate, how to get sponsorship license, and then we can also help you to recruit from outside the United Kingdom. Get in touch and we will make your dreams come true. Your dreams will become a reality. Primary school from the age of 5 to 12 years of age, and middle school from the age of 10 to the age of 14, secondary school from the age of 11 to the age of 18, independent school is from the age of 3 to the age of 18. That is the UK education system. That is what we need to know. So now, if you are looking for jobs, how do you find jobs? There are agencies that are recruiting for school teachers. One of the agencies is called Adzuna, Adzuna, Adzuna. Can I do Elijah? Also, pronunciation is also very important. Sometimes the way we pronounce things in this country is a bit different. So you also have to learn. It's very difficult, but you're going to have to learn. If not, they will just tease you and laugh at you. So, for example, sounds. Yes, thank you very much for the contribution. Let's give examples. Pronunciation. Leicester, very typical. If you look at the way it is written, if you come from Ghana, you'll be so tempted to say Leicester, because when you are writing it, you write it and you are going to pronounce it the way you've written it. So if you're not careful, you're gonna say Leicester, and if you say that, the children are going to say, pardon, what did you say? Excuse me, say that again. And if you're not careful, you become the laughing stock. Another one is Tottenham. Tottenham. If you're not careful, you're going to say Tottenham, because when you are writing it, that is how it is written. So if you don't know it, you look at it, Tottenham, and then they're going to laugh at you. Because in this country, nobody says Tottenham. They're going to say Tottenham. It's silent. They don't pronounce the H. And therefore, it's something that you have to learn. Another one, Dagenham. They're going to say Dagenham. So if you're not careful, you will throw the bomb. And the children may end up laughing and teasing you. So if you want to come to the United Kingdom, personally, it's about time you start watching United Kingdom programs. Because programs such as EastEnders, Coronation Street, and other soaps, you learn how to, the culture, and also pronunciation of places and words. It helps you. The slangs that they use. You know, it helps you. So it's very, very, very important that we learn these things. Someone say, I can't control myself. I am laughing. Yes. The thing is, if you know it, and you look back, it sounds funny. But if you don't know it, Massa, that shows that you are fresh in the system. And the only way is to learn so that you can fit in. I will tell you this story. Someone traveling to the United Kingdom for the first time. The person got to the airport. There was an escalator that was rolling down. Someone was on the escalator. When the person got there, the person was waiting for the person to get off the escalator before she also jumped on. So she was just standing there for the escalator to get to the end for the person to get off before she jumped on. And another person asked her, why are you waiting? She said that, oh, if I jump on it, the weight may be too much. The escalator may stop. In that person's wisdom, she thought the weight of two people was more than enough to stop the escalator from moving. So she rather stand there. If you know these things, it's funny. You will laugh at the person. But if you don't know it, what can you do? The person is ignorant. And therefore, you have to teach the person that the power or the force of the escalator is more than the weight of more than two people. So jump on it and you'll be fine. So these are the things that we all have to learn. Recently they put some escalators in some places in Ghana. Look at the way people were falling. To jump on it and fall, for me, there's nothing wrong with it because it's new to you. You don't know it. And therefore, what's the big deal? You learn. But it is only a fool that refuses to learn. If you are taught or someone pointed out to you, then you have to be smart enough to be able to say, you know what? I am going to learn. So learning is very, very, very important. So many people may have different experiences in this country. And therefore, it's very, very important that we all learn. And also, behavior management. Thank you very much for that. If you are coming to teach here, this is not, I would say Ghana, where if you're a teacher, you get away with a lot. This country, the whole notion of beating someone to teach a person a lesson, it does not happen in this country. The whole idea of smacking someone's child, it does not happen in this country. You're going to get yourself into trouble. I remember a case came before me where a teacher was accused of smacking a child at the bottom. Yes, the teacher was referred to the relevant bodies and was facing sacking from teaching profession. It was serious. The school took it that far. The school did their own investigation and they concluded that they have to make a referral. Even though the person denied it. But thank God, when the person came to Justice and Law Solicitors, we were able to assist this person for this person to basically to exonerate herself. So we have to be very, very careful. We have to learn the culture. We need to know what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And therefore, if you need training, it's important that before you start your work in the United Kingdom, maybe ask them for a bit of training. What is expected within your role as a teacher, so that you equip yourself and you prepare yourself before you actually start the work of teaching in the United Kingdom. Because teaching is not easy. And it's not the most rewarding profession in the world. But yet, it's the most challenging. And in some cases, in the long term, perhaps is the most rewarding. Why am I saying this? Because the impact that you make in people's lives, what you say as a teacher, as far as I'm concerned, you are prophets, it's likely, most likely, that it will come to pass. Like I say in my Facebook page, Mr. Apia Donko, one of my school teachers, back in the years, he's always had high expectation of me. And he told me, you will get far in life. I have no doubt. He even went on by using my name in an exams paper, and I would never forget that. English comprehension. David Obindako / bread. And he gave us answers. Will buy a bread. Will bought a bread. Bought a bread. Buy a bread. You choose one. I would never forget this. And through that, my confidence also rose. And as a result, I've always looked back. Some of the things that came out of his mouth, the inspiration and the blessings that he gave me. I look back and I say he was a prophet. He has helped make me who I am today. And today that I'm talking about teachers, I felt that it is only right that I put his picture up. So if you're a teacher, you also have to instill positivity in people's lives. Make sure that you encourage the people that you teach. Don't discourage them. Croydon College, I remember Geraldine Beatty is also someone that I will never forget. She was the one who took me to Parliament, where the Prime Minister sits, them days, Tony Blair, 1997. House of Commons. I sat on that green chair, but I got told off by a security in the House of Commons because I did not know that I could not sit on that green chair where the Prime Minister sits. David Mooney, who at the time was an MP at least, kindly invited us to the House of Commons, where laws are made in the United Kingdom. This is 1997. We went there, first time experience in House of Commons. Took us all the way down to the dispatch box where the Prime Minister sits. We went on a tour in the House of Commons through my school teacher Geraldine Beatty, Croydon College, 1997. So all these experiences, for me, it can shape the way you see life and view life. And I thank all these people for making positive impact in my life, because through that, my confidence went up that if they can do it, I can also do it. And I've never shied away from being confident. But unfortunately, some people may not be confident as you. And they may feel intimidated just by your name and your presence. And sometimes all that they can do is to try their best to maybe to bring you down in some way. But all that I say to you is, as human being, you need confidence. You need positivity. Because without confidence, you are dead. To teach in the United Kingdom, you must have confidence. You just got to learn the regional accents, the culture, the banter, the tradition, so that you can fit into the community. It is very, very, very important. It is not easy, but if I can do it, so can you. If a boy from Ashton can come to the United Kingdom and become a lawyer and can go in the courtroom and talk for him to be understood. So can you. If a boy from Ashton can go to university, do presentation, do dissertation, and his work can be put at the school library for people to look at it and use it as a template for them to do their dissertation for their degree by the name of David Darko, so can you do. You can also do it. So can you. I am not saying this to brag, but I am saying this so that you can say, if a boy from Ashton Abbas Park can do it, so can you. If a boy from St. Anne's Anglican Primary School, if a boy from City of Kumasi, if a boy from Peter's Educational Center, if a boy from Ejisman Secondary School, if a boy from Creighton College can do it, so can you. Be confident in what you do. Don't let no one bring you down. We all learn. Yes, sometimes, you get it wrong. But the key is learn. Be prepared to take criticisms. Be prepared to move forward in life. Be prepared to say that I can do it. Be prepared to learn. Because by so doing, it will help you to move forward in life. So the QTS, of course, from 1st of February, if you are from Ghana, by all means, you can do it. If you have a degree, then you can get an ethics certificate so that you are exempted from the English test. So you can do that as well. And if you don't have a degree, then of course you have to do level B1 test in order to be able to meet the English requirement. Teachers' salary. Teachers' salary in this respect, England and Wales, you are looking at between 28,000 to 34,502 pounds. This would depend on the location. If the location is in London and nearby areas, because of London weighing in, you'll be able to get a bit more the fact that you live in London. Ireland, you are looking at 27,498. The minimum salary expected is 24,137. So you need to also bear this in mind and put this in mind. Mind you, in teaching profession, they have performance as well. If you are teaching and your students are doing well, then of course you'll be able to perhaps sell yourself. And also one thing that people also have to realize is this: as a teacher, you can also have a side job where private tuition, a lot of people are also making a lot of money. Teacher, you get a private teacher for your child. Some people are charging as much as 120 pounds per hour. Private tuition, it ranges from 30 pounds to about 120 pounds. But in life, you pay for what you get. One thing that I must also say, don't compare pear and apples because they are not the same. Some people may be 10 years qualified. Some people may be 15 years qualified. Some people may be newly qualified. So please, don't insult a professional by comparing someone who has just qualified to someone who is maybe who has been qualified for so many years, because experience also count for something. Just like the law profession, sometimes people think any lawyer is a lawyer. No, don't go there. Not any lawyer is a lawyer, because Law Society even recognize that if you are over 8 years qualified, your rate is different from someone who is maybe less than 4 years qualified. So example, Lawyer Darko, for example, I qualified on the 1st of February 2007. So technically, I am going to be how many years? 2007 plus 3 will give us 2010. 23 will give us 13. So really, I'm going to be 16 years qualified come 1st of February this year. So if you come to me and I'm charging you, say, £1 to do a piece of work for you, it will be so wrong to compare me to someone who has just qualified. Because experience, you can't buy experience. So it's very, very important that sometimes direct comparisons that we make, direct comparisons that we do, it's not fair, and sometimes some of us may find it insulting. So we need to understand this, because most people don't know. Because to some people, any lawyer is a lawyer. No, experience comes for something. I've been in this business since 2001. That means 22 years now. And that experience comes for something. As soon as I pick certain documents, I can see where it is going. But give it to someone who is newly qualified, the person will struggle to see where it is going. That is where experience comes for something. And experience is the best teacher. So, all that I say is as follows. From 1st of February, you qualify, you've gone through the education system, how to qualify, how to apply for the jobs, salary expectations, and so on and so forth. Working in the United Kingdom, the benefits. One of the benefits in working in the United Kingdom is the educational system and the NHS. As we know, if you want free education, United Kingdom, primary education is free. If you want the state schools or the voluntary aided schools for your children. But if you want private school, you have to pay. Private school, you are looking at about £20,000 per year. That one is a choice. Some people may decide to do that. Some people may decide not to do that. Some people may decide to invest in their children in private education. Some people may decide to invest that money in building houses. Some people may decide to invest using that money in building businesses. It's a choice that people make, and who am I to judge someone for their decision that they make? In this life, self-preservation comes first, and everyone makes a decision based on what they believe will be best for them and also their family members in the long run. So while someone may decide that the £20,000, I am going to buy a land and I'm going to do a foundation, that is enough for me. Someone will say, no, that £20,000, I will invest that in my child's education. So I will use that to pay first year's school fees. So imagine your child is in a private school and your child is in a secondary school. Your child have to go to secondary school for 5 years. And you have to pay 20,000 for 5 years. How much is it? It's 100,000 for secondary education. A levels, if you have to pay 20,000, top it up. How much is it? 40,000. Put that together. So the secondary school element, about £140,000. Someone may decide that money is too much to invest in education. I'd rather use that money to build 5 houses. That is the person's prerogative. That's the person's choice. The question is, the person who is investing in mortar and the person who is investing in education, which one is better? I don't know. Some people may decide to use their money to go into maybe agriculture. That is a choice. But in life, I always say this. There is no right answers and there is no wrong answers. Whatever you feel at the time is good for you, that is what you do. So if you have your 10 mansions and someone is investing in his children, that does not make you better than that person. If you are investing in your children and someone is investing in agriculture, that does not make you better than that person. Because at the end of the day, we all have to live with our conscience. And if your conscience is right and you are at peace with yourself, and you believe that the decision that you have made is the right decision, so be it. As long as you are happy with your decisions, so be it. Don't let anyone judge you, or don't let people's judgment of you affect you. At the end of the day, you have to live with your conscience and be happy with decisions that you make. Let people judge you all that they want, but at the end of the day, like they say, the end will justify the means. Because some people believe that the best investment, the best thing that they can do for their children is to invest in their children's education. That is one school of thought. Some people also believe that education is rubbish. And therefore, what you can do is to have a farm so that your children can come and take over. At least every day they will eat. Some people also believe that once you educate in your children, through that education, it gives them better opportunities and they will eat for the rest of their lives. So it's different school of thought, and whatever works for you, do it. As long as you are clear in what you are doing, as long as you are happy with what you are doing, as long as you are doing it with the right motives, I think that is what is important. School is not for everyone. Business is not for everyone. Agriculture is not for everyone. And building houses is not for everyone. Because at the end of the day, the life that we have and the world that we live, anything and everything will pass away. And at some point, we will have to be there and live with our conscience and the decisions that we have made in our lives. So UK, when you come over the education system, public school is free, private school is free, and also NHS is there. And also, you know, in terms of traveling, easy to travel to other countries if you have the United Kingdom visa, because you'll be deemed to be a low risk. And also, Europe is just few meters away that you can go to Europe, visit places that you want to go. There are also tourist attractions in the UK. Madame Tussauds London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. So now you can go to Tower Bridge. There are so many places that you can go. Isles, you know, islands, so many islands in the United Kingdom that you can visit. You can go to the Scottish Islands, you know, go hiking. You know, so many things that you can do in the United Kingdom. The system is working 24/7. The light is on 24/7. I've never slept in this country in the lights off for more than 24 hours. So we thank God the tap is always running. And, you know, generally life in general is, you know, it's okay. I cannot complain. And I will forever be grateful to this country. I always say this, if it hadn't been for this country, I do not think I would have even gone to university. University, you get student loan, you bring your children over, you regularize their stay, they get university level, they get student loan. If they have indefinite leave to remain or they are British citizens, you don't have to be worried about school fees. And, you know, the state is there to chip in and help as much as they can. If they stay in the system and they work and contribute, of course, they also have pension. And basically, in some ways, it helps. So all that I will say about is the student visa application process. Now, let's go to our commercial people and take a commercial some adverts, and then when we come back, we continue. Amway.
Amway, a company kesiye. Omode niyama pa abedwa so. Omo niyama ni be a health product, beauty product, and a home care product. Omo health product ni be a vitamins, and as a food supplement. Beauty products ni be enso omo wo enku, and as a mana ebema wo honam atoso already atoso sen no me. Omo home care products ni be samana edi huhuru kukuo mu. Ni ayedi twitwi adwaye. And emudia hidia wu pe bia no ubetimi enya bi ewo Amway se upe emu nsematie ana se wu pe bia to a yesre se Fre Owura Emmanuel Eshon was 075 076 30487 075 076 30487. And I also say abelfo amansan tentan kese no so ubehunu o machira kwan ewo www.amway.co.uk/user/ms na ofre Owura Emmanuel Eshon and also say wotons ansa ekọ amansan tentan kese no so wo mo website no so a omani ubedi nkita ho fefefe eno na Owura Emmanuel Eshon beka cho say and na onanyen amwe am
Ayapa fresh. Everyone, we tell you me go to your restaurant.
And no sesa na wo so asesa and no dane na wo so adane say yentre baby asa elidia ayapa food what if ye umye me wo phone so a na ye de abro wo fie ati say uber na ekọ pasro apps e wo phone so milia eno na say wo download app no aduane no de wo pedia e wo so fresh food ayapa food
and me coffee and say me free we me buy one aduane no
it's one tray ayapa fresh food so say je e my breast swati
ade ayakra ne se wa ko adwuma ba ne wa brana sa ko gina kitchen sa ye aduane oba na sa be ma say de ayapa fresh food ama be no so atiam pa ati Ghana aduane be na wo pe say ba kuri nkruma ba kuri tilapia wo foni apajen kakra na say foforo like soup oya ya chie etu download app no app store ana say Play Store restaurant do no ane wo so enti emfa ho ne ba bia wo bia so one north south east west access ba bia wo bia te betimi dia bro ayapa we have 3 apps. Number 1, ayapa fresh food for customers ordering food. 2, ayapa store for restaurant owners listed their restaurant on ayapa market platform for third food to be delivered. 3, ayapa driver for those looking for extra income if they have a car or motorbike. And no call a mediano. Say one car, and now motor, and now bike. Now one landing. Now pay extra cash. No. But dear, the first number C 0203 62 06 129 or 07884 202 338. Ayapa EYEPA fresh foods downloading in the yard. Ayapa market, one stop market, restaurant on wheels.
Medafo, Uyamanka, wow, dying papa be our Ghana, and so a nam no cry asantino, who send ya Wubet Manisika, say yes, what you mount. It's in a paradise city. Ya did this beautiful ultramodern city, Abatema, Community 25, Whoop standard, executive, semi-executive quality buildings, Yeni paradise city, Yawa home, it's as a dear butcher Abagana, your payment terms, no so, and a phone book call, who penny self finance. And as a mortgage for Paradise City. Oh, your telephone numbers you so UK +447 908 475 802. Paradise City. Ye Juma pa amagana yefe ankasa.
Anyame adomboko anyame kwase anyame de so awnim party na la so ba fa me ko ya abaya bi ko shia nza aban se nya nkata ma no and again it you na we shia ba ba party asi ya so nya nkata ma ojam am so bi bokuni wa ya me de me de ya we di na wasa bom bi mo e be fi kese fu kote to ko ni
ajawo
ko unye ya unye na ebo fu me ya ko ma tu
na dan majira preti abom na dada na mpezum bebi
what you akuma ni su nyina AF ho because if you can for
na ada moti ha mo ntwa na moda so tefi ha
na we only me maka njiro e na wunya so ko yen gata mo bi yo me de mi so o yo ke kura
yo mesrem pi ewiase de obi ene ho chi for asem pakodo enemre mu so de obi ene ho betena ho ama ta bada ho so owon kame enu ti mesrem se banka ta asem ko ade a na se woni krata wo krom ha na wonya krata mesrem adwuma ba ko pe ena mekan for amount eno ane justice and law solicitors lawyer ye fe no opinda ku David eho ena owo never immigration sem landlords and tenants family legal documents civil litigation wills and employment issues ni nyina papa odi hu djuma ewo ho na mesrem maba beto mu ne ya meka tirem mo fa mo maboso mo tom
na wo kan papa otimi akonto kwa nyina ma ye se bia obi agi usika zo mbeso obetia ne so otimi ye kwa djum
ni nyina lawyer benda akudi ni nyina hu djuma na ne ay mani ka awon ho ne se wo ye ntoko chan se ba mra mu dia so waje wase de so onwie ya papa onyini sa emfrase
pacho hefa no antena so wo no
yo me pacho obemu justice and law for Ewo Unit 35 Eurolink Business Center 49 Efra Road Brixton SW2 1BZ na the telephone number any 02077385841 and I say the mobile number 07538969589 Miss Row and then they said the migration for senior blue chrome hand share and one travel ama and for now quiet into free no could ye found crata semina equine justice and law solicitors.
Hey Ojam also switch me on the way you are on idea see a woman and they are down for back coffee
and yes she penisi uru finance akofaba yinti enam say lawyer benda ko afato no so say obeboa yen Ghana 43 wunti memne da bia e free anopedu ba ko ekobo awia donko lawyer etna efidia eye fire life radio so exercise emrem ewo ho enti e free memne da e be ne memne da ka bia no for fidie ne to fire life radio na tie lawyer ene emrem nsem ewo ho tifi na ko die justice and law solicitors aha ne be pro
Thank you very much. Let's continue the program. Let's bring the second segment of the program. We are going to be talking about deprivation of British citizenship. Deprivation of British citizenship. Once we finish this, we will then activate the telephone lines. And if you have any question, by all means, you can call the show. And any contribution, anything, by all means, I will open the floor for you. But before that, please bear with me. Let me just finish this very quickly so that I can activate the telephone lines. It's very, very important that I talk about this because this is something that it keeps coming. And I think we need to talk about this so that people can take the necessary steps to avoid being, to avoid getting themselves into trouble. I'm so tempted this part of the program to do it in Cree. But then again, some people will watch us. They may be Jamaicans, they may be Liberians, they may be Afghanistanis. There can be any nationality. I switch to Cree, they will struggle to understand. There is the dilemma that we face every day. So I'm going to take my time and try the best that I can and do it, or maybe mix it up for you. Forgive me if, I'm going too fast for you. Now, deprivation of British citizenship. The word deprive means, if you like, denying someone something. Denying someone, depriving, denying, stopping, preventing. Yeah, so deprivation, depriving someone, denying someone of their citizenship, British citizenship. Normally, Home Office do not publish statistics over the number of people that the Secretary of State deprived them of their citizenship. Normally, they don't. However, Justice and Law Solicitors, we have conducted an investigation into this area. And House of Commons library briefing that we got this information from, there is a publication on the number of people who have lost their British citizenship over the years. So I'm going to go through and give examples of why some people lose their citizenship. But the word to the wise is in the north, not the south. Statistics on the use of deprivation powers. According to the statistics from the House of Commons Library, at least 759 people have lost their citizenship from the year 2010 to the year 2021. 550 were because of fraud, and 209 were because it was conducive to the public good. If the person is deemed to be a risk to the United Kingdom and also people within the United Kingdom. However, some people have successfully appealed against deprivation. This includes the first person against whom deprivation was attempted under the modern powers by the name of Abu Hamza in the year 2003. When we talk about Abu Hamza, just a moment. When we talk about Abu Hamza is linked or associated with hate preaching. The man had a disability. I think his left hand or right hand, for whatever reason, was cut off, and he was using a metal. So some people were poking fun at him that the hook man, Abu Hamza. So those watching us, let's see whether I can find some information about him. At the moment, the last time I read about him, he was in America facing they say terrorist charges. So that is it. Abu Hamza al-Mazri, that's him. He was formerly an Egyptian, and he became British, and he was preaching, and according to the laws, it was hate preach, and as a result, he was facing what do you call it? Terrorism charges, and he could not be deported to Egypt because he had given up Egyptian nationality, and therefore he was only British, and therefore, according to international law, you cannot make someone stateless, and as a result, he fought and he got his citizenship back after 9/11 and subsequent, events. He was sent to the United Kingdom. So let's look at his history from Wikipedia. Let's see what it says. Hamza was born Mustafa Kamel Mustafa in Alexandria in Egypt in 1958, the son of a middle-class army officer. In 1979, he entered Britain on a student visa. His initial reaction to life in Britain was to describe it as a paradise where you could do anything that you wanted. He studied civil engineering at Brighton Polytechnic. Prior to his adoption of Islamism in Malta in 1999, Hamza was known as Gentle Giant and a womanizer. Hamza gained employment as a bouncer in the strip bars of Soho under his original name from 1980 until 1983, when Club Baron John Agus was arrested and charged for conspiring to a pimp. Agus alleges that Hamza may have also co-owned a club during his time. In the early 1990s, Hamza lived in Bosnia under another name and fought alongside Bosniaks against Serbs and Croats during the Bosnian War. Hamza, who has one eye and no hands, once claimed he lost them fighting Soviet forces in Afghanistan. CNN report where the injuries, he says, is sustained while tackling a landmine in Afghanistan. It goes on and on and on. So if you are interested in reading about him, I am going to post it there. So he was the first man to fight against deprivation of British citizenship on the basis that the UK state was going to make him a stateless, which was against international law. So because of time factor, I'm just, gonna skip it and move on. So basically, he was the first man to face this wrath of the law, deprivation of citizenship. He fought against it and he won his case in 2003. Commentators suggested that many of those deprived of their citizenship on public good grounds are British Muslims. Then again, it has led to the accusation of bias and maybe racism based on religion. Now, let's look at the statistics, the number of people whose citizenship have been deprived since 2013. 2013, 7 people were deprived of British citizenship. 2014, 11. 2015, 15. 2016, 24. 2017, 44. 2018, 50. 2019, 82. 2020, 43. 2021, 273. Peoples whose nationality have been deprived or revoked. So this is the statistics. Why did this happen? If you live in this country and you become citizen, you are expected to comply with the law. If you commit a serious crime and it's so serious that the UK believe that the public is not safe for your presence to be here, such as Begum, the ISIS bride who went to Syria to fight, she's been revoked citizenship, and therefore that's a typical example. Number 2, if it is deemed that the citizenship was obtained by fraud, false representation, and so on and so forth. How did this happen? This can happen, maybe I am married and a child is born to me. And then later on, the child obtains citizenship through me. And for one reason or the other, it transpires that I am not the father of the child. And it comes to the Home Office attention, then of course they will take the passport back. They will deprive my child citizenship because the child is not my child. Number 2, if for example, maybe the person that I've had a child with is married to someone else at the time of the child's birth, then another problem, because Paternity Regulation Act says that if you are married and the child is born, the parties to the marriage are deemed to be the parents of the child. And therefore, regardless of who planted the seed, as long as the names are on there as married couple, whether I planted the seed, I planted the corn, it does not matter. As long as Mr. A is married to B and a child is born during the course of A and B's marriage, they are the parents of that child. It does not matter that Lawyer Darko, I planted the seed, I planted the corn. It matters not. The married couples are the what? They are the children, or they are the parents of the child. Unless I, Mr. Darko, can do DNA to prove that biologically the child is my child, A and B, B, who is the woman, had extramarital affair or extra relationship affair, and I ended up planting the corn. If I plant the corn, then of course I am the biological father of the child. But since I'm not married to B, I'm gonna have to prove that the child is my biological child. And how do I prove that? I can only prove that by doing DNA with a recognized DNA company approved by the Ministry of Justice in order to step in and basically claim the child. So basically what it is that at the end of the day, if you are married, when you are applying for your visa in Ghana, and they ask this question, are you married? And say B, put it on the application form, yes, I am married. B is granted a visa to come to the UK. B is married to A. B comes to the UK. B cannot resist me, David Darko, because I look so good. And B say, hey, let's hang up. Let's hang out. And then, Fofi Antuata, I plant my seed. As an example, I plant the corn. As an example. And a child is born. I know that Mr. A is not in the picture. I know that the child is my child because the child looks like me, got my characteristics and everything. And therefore, say I am British citizen and apply for British passport for the child. And the passport office did not know that B is still married to A and issue the passport to my child called C. B has got a child. The child is British. And then B come to Justice and Law Solicitors and said, Justice and Law, I've got a child. My child is British. I want to do human rights application because I don't have papers. And Justice and Law, through their skills, is able to secure papers for B. Now, B is going 2.5 years. B is, working and life is, everything is going on all right for B. 5 years are come. The passport are die. B need to renew the passport. B apply to the passport office for renewal of the passport. Passport office say, hang on, we have done investigation with the Home Office and we have noticed that at the time of the child's conception and birth, B was still married to A. And on that basis, you have to go and do blood test. On that basis, we are revoking the British citizenship to the child. Paternity regulation makes that possible. So please, like I say, if you are no longer with someone, do divorce. If you are no longer with someone, there is no point because words have consequences and actions have implications. These are some of the unintended consequences of issues that could come up and haunt you. So for that reason, I say, once you get to this country and your relationship with A is no longer there, kill it, chop it, have evidence of the same. So that if you meet someone like me and you make a baby with someone like me and I do the child's passport and you rely on that passport to get your stay, so that 5 years time when you are going to renew it, it doesn't pose problems. So that's why I said to you, we have to be serious about these things because most of our people are losing their children's passport because of exactly the same examples that I have given. So please, let's try the best that we can and do the best that we can and educate each other and ourselves. I thank you. Now, we are going to activate the telephone lines. You can call in if you have any question, any contribution, you are welcome. I will put the number up. If you also have to look after your health this year, 2023, don't joke with your health because your health is your wealth. And I will recommend Amway Mr. Ishan. He's been very, very, very good to me and my family. I'll say for the past 4 or 5 years. Vitamins. I take vitamins every day. Vitamin D, vitamin C, and multivitamins. The food that we eat in this country, unfortunately, chemicals is everywhere, left, right, middle, everywhere. And as a result, we lack some of the vital vitamins such as vitamin D. The sun doesn't blaze like it blazes in our country, Ghana. We get vitamin D for free. But here you have to buy vitamin D to supplement your food nutrients. If you are looking for products such as vitamins, chemical free, then get in touch with Mr. Ishan. Mr. Ishan will put his number and also his email address on the comment section. Get in touch with him and also look after yourself. They sell so many different products. If you have just been given your council flat and you want them to install water, whether you call it water sanitation or water purification to your tap, by all means, Lawyer Darko, I don't buy water anymore. He has kindly come to my house and done that for me for free of charge. When I looked, it cost over £1,000. But yet, this man said that, you know what? what you're doing for the community is unbelievable. That for the past 10 years, you waste your Saturday, you come here and you give free legal advice to people, and you have made so much difference in people's lives. And for that, I want to show appreciation. And for that, I'm coming to install free of charge water, water purification. And because of that, for the past 3 to 4 years, I don't buy water. My tap water in my kitchen, when you turn it on, they've set everything up and it cleans the water. When you drink it, it's chemical free. And, they have all these gadgets that you change it from time to time. And so far, it's working for me. I take my medication, my medicine, capsules. They have so many stuff that is going on. He has also kindly, given me free of charge cooking utensils. Sometimes when I cook rice, I don't like microwave rice and all that stuff. No, I try to do it organically, naturally. When you cook it and you just leave it like 24 hours and it tastes like you just cooked the food. So get in touch with him. They have so many products that they can help you. Paradise City. Also, if you're interested in buying a house in Ghana, get in touch with them. They will also be able to help you. But when it comes to immigration and nationality law, employment law, family law, trust me, justice and law, no one can tackle us. We are the best in the field, and you come to us, can continue to make the referrals. I always say this. I will always thank you all for your continual referrals, because sometimes it baffles me. We are getting people from all over the world, and when they come, they're expecting to see some big man. When they come, they see me, small boy, sitting there doing wonders. One man came to see me yesterday. I said, "Are you Mr. Darko?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Oh, I don't mean to be rude, but I really thought you were some older person, because the way I've heard your name has gone far. I spoke to about 5 people, and everyone, either they will say, go to the lawyer in Brixton or go to Lawyer Darko. And therefore, I find myself here. This is my problem, and I need help from you." As soon as I opened my mouth and started talking, first question that the man asked me was, "Have you ever lived in a palace before?" I asked him why. I said, "Because when you open your mouth, it looks like full of wisdom." So I thank God that God has given me a bit of wisdom that I'm able to apply when I speak to people. Respect for me is very, very important. When you're dealing with anyone, show the person respect. Make the person feel welcome. Let the person know that, he is appreciated. Arrogance doesn't lead us to anywhere. Arrogance leads us to our downfall, and arrogance leads us to hell. So please be respectful in everything that you do. Show respect to your brother man and your sister, and the Lord Almighty God will bless you abundantly. So now you're going to activate the telephone lines, and we're just gonna take some phone calls and bring the program to an end. Or say, akuko wohoi, or say tafre wohoi, onya asa anko besa, ama asase akasa, and so abua akuko nti, or sa enye ye, sa so na akuko ba wohoi, onya asa anko besa, and so abua akrumenti, or sa enye ye, upon chise, obewu, and so edia e was a ye chian e yeswan answer. Sana etie nyame na yedana se ese odi ne akyeye enti take song we afi ye pa number no entija
okwentuni madiso moye tu ochedi ampon jimetata na fa me ko rufie jojo Okwentuni afedi emedie mia If anything, yeah, me fabe kwenye oh, kwentini.
Yes, I'm a son of Fra. Number Nini. And the woman. 969.
If anything, yeah, me fabe kwenye oh, kwentini. Yes, I'm Brian C.
Officer will fry number now a dead You can call us on this number 07538 969589. Oh. Today we are giving 15 minutes. Hello. Hello, good morning to you. Nampa Chodini said I can say free voice near low, Papa Tibomai. Okay. Okay, me patron. Obetinya e dey atoso no asa free bi mo voice you low pa ye nti dey work no. Hello?
Hello.
Aha. Hello. Me patron dey say na kase free.
Yeah, for me. Kofi Mensa me kase free. Correct.
Kofi Mensa credit yanko.
Lawyer me patron na me pese me fu. Yeah, teachers e wo Ghana no. The minimum one say just qualified teacher status kwana umbe allow more here. I say any new way you be about menya way timi way na so my friend quite.
You can want some basically from 1st of February. A year next week or next 2 weeks in. Qualified teacher scheme, no. Yeah, the Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Hong Kong, Jamaica, you don't know about home. And it's a work on there, you don't need to do a test to qualify to be deemed to be a qualified teacher who is able to teach in the United Kingdom. And you know, say Obu Ghana, that's what pay Juma. Say or kwakoji your friend say visa no, and I say or kwakoji certificate of sponsorship and na enye Juma. On train Emma 1st of February, Emransa. And we know ye promptu crofo now and crofo shall see a prepare towards that. It is from 1st of February now shall say to see this air too because you are already qualified. You are deemed to be a qualified teacher in the UK.
Okay, but that's a follow-up question. They say now so be so krumha no teacher certificate that
yeah.
Obetimi apply be higher you as a teacher.
Yes, Obetimi qualify. I'm so your qualification in Ghana because from 1st of February, no, ukita Ghana qualification and your retrospective, you already qualify.
Okay.
Aha. Only say other requirements, no, and also ultimate meeting.
Okay.
Aha. Tisana kwa kwe.
Okay. Now, other requirements need to be to say.
I was a pay Juma first. Eso nya sponsor. Na sponsor no amount certificate of sponsorship.
Okay.
I was also kita Ghana certificate na your teacher. Meaning the type of certificate ni benikita. Se okita degree or ko wini ba no kita degree. Sa certificate no. Also koji certificate of comparability. Kire se wote brofo. Na che se B1 no ya mani exemption.
Okay.
Aha. And you know basically no ana maintenance. Say school na air fan na say agency air fan no say oma be man on 1 month maintenance and accommodation and also he does not need to satisfy the accommodation and maintenance requirement. Say omo money there's a certain amount of money so you have to account for 28 days before you put in the exactly. So any circumstances no and no they be determine baby say di nipa nefa.
Okay.
But also what you say.
The last one lawyer. Me about who's who her on also we whenever but now have 10 years we're teaching assistant to crowd school beam or no crowd Ghana certificate the comparability now be or muka say is comparable to Britain standard. But since when you're free Ghana, he can only use it to teach in Ghana, and also no. At that time, the first people are no qualifier.
And the first people are neighbor, sa category na you didn't shame no, or free no, and therefore no, the status will be changed automatically. And you know, from 1st of February no, I was say or no, and I approach school no. I say my qualification, you know, before 1st of February, you were right. But after 1st of February, no, the law has changed in my favor. Do something about it.
Okay.
But just what I say, because employer, no, the real feeling home, a 2 days or cocaine, and a semi-ready business, let me clear £2. That's how we have the same job. I'll be happy to pay you the £2. I didn't think I may upgrade you, I mean, £10, maybe the same job.
Oh, okay.
No. Everyone is fighting for their own head.
Thank you very much.
And I'll see Kofi Mensa. Save Anna Momrani saying yes, can it be? Why, Kofi? Okay, bye bye. Hello? Any pana for so kasa. Okay, young quay. Hello, Pacho did this and I can say free.
Pacho from Nanaya, make us free 210.
Nanaya from 210?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Nanaya, young quay. 210 for this St. George's for young co.
Lawyer, good afternoon. Pacho, person may be say, we application, our withdraw application. What are the implications apart from TBA Belusika Utiana?
A bit dependent on status. Be a making why application na obviously na ko withdraw. What be illegal to do back to us. And a bit depend the reasons into nipa na withdraw. Any nipa na kasa na the visa no. Eba be wu ana say wu ana. This is things that we will look at and advise the person accordingly.
Well, or apply for like for Ghana. Now they actually say or submit documents and wakobon in some way but documents supporting documents are the whole crew and the back one man one fan and application because of say wapon in some money, you know, on my head to me submit that document from Ahano. Do not know Jane say or no disaster professor withdraw no yen of fofro. And I told to me answer supporting documents no crew hano after email and so on.
Okay, basically, omo agents bi wa.
Yeah.
Last week me dey sa omo address no to comment section ho. Enti do be ane say obetua £90 on free agency no. The from TLS contact. In fact, on once we fair a ben wa wo 210 no. Ofre wo ma ombeka che say o ma account ni ontua £90 and two. Na sponsor the documents no. On fan to post by special delivery. Almost a can adano na no and I say the same week na no be scanning e dey akokoma home office.
Last week me na my friend but your friend here though. I could see France for her. Yenya UK for no any among casa. Okay, so almost fana say France you just have to say you have made an application for a UK visa because a company now yama so many countries. You're from TLS contact. Na TLS contact my investigation tell me say a French company. And say no open Schengen visa bia no magic contract no. Unko embassy will be just what call TLS contact omo branch. And they would decide they say where your UK visa, where your Italian visa, where your way visa. Because some address no the same. Something Boulevard. First now omo Olympics. Kensington Olympia. And I see back once worth. And from SO Church room say you have submitted a UK visa. And you need to submit the supporting documents. Who do you send it to? And where do you send it to? How do you make the payment? Which room on the way? Okay.
Why? Because some friends say you are French now. What can we say? Ready? It's the wrong place. But what they're afraid, nature or more no big deal. Why? I even have their account details. But Utria now basically what printing evidence of receipt. Now application no more GWF number. What you need now? How the copy of the application form na can home. No post to come Oma ebe send it. No more send you email say it has been submitted.
Okay. Yeah,
me say I can say I may research I me my account details now. Me the better comment section one more see here.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
yeah.
Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, mo na mugusu no musu betimi afre e me say na amanfa begusu bebrebe nti ntimi amfa wo betimi afre frɛ na yenko yanim number no still na 07538969589 ososo wo betimi ayede afre enti eguso twa mo course amanfa bebrebe frɛ unfortunately yentimi amfa because we can only take one person at one time enti no so person fra yesrɛ mo Mom Befrea, one of Muguso meant me no. Sorry about this. Ubetini idea afre. Number ne Didi Jumano 07538 969 589. Yini no frey no be the comment section on the link be air to OCCR. Ebeboa read this information. Also betini afasa process so now where idea why. Hello.
Hello, lawyer.
From a doctor, many amber. Empathy, me being count.
Yeah, lawyer, but you're from Daniel. You're from Leeds.
Daniel, young co. You need it now.
You, lawyer, but you're a student in the University of Aberdeen. But before I made bad school, I used to be a teacher. Like, I taught for 7 years and left the job. And there's some other businesses, but now I'm doing my master's in Aberdeen. Example, I say with the by in 1st February, am I qualified? Yeah, I have teaching certificate. I have all BBR.
Yeah. Patrick Kasa.
Yeah, lawyer. Patrick Kasa say, am I qualified to apply for that kind of
Yes, I mean from 1st of February. Anyone who is a teacher, who was a teacher in Ghana, basically you are qualified. You see, my main interest first now, okay, now as it is now, still now you are qualified to teach in the UK only if you have to do the QTS test. From 1st of February, you don't need to do the QTS test in order to teach in the UK. That is the only difference. And say the UK say, recognize Ghana teachers to teach in the UK from 1st of February. You will automatically be deemed to be qualified. But before that, in a day, also call a QTS test, and say no qualified.
Okay. UTS test. No, me, I have a degree, I have a diploma, I'm not doing my master's. So now, I can say we should use the ethics, like for them to confirm our English proficiency again.
I know one of the elements because say Obabe teacher for the purposes of immigration, to get the tier 2 visa, there are elements as with me satisfy in order to be able to switch your visa. One condition, your ability to be able to speak English. And you say, we need degree. As we level B1 test. Say, degree. Not the degree, was taught in English in another country. I was say, what they call actis, and I said, NARIC, certificate of comparability. Say, a UK degree, you are already qualified for the English test element of it. So you don't need to do a test, you don't need to do B1 test because you have a degree that was taught in English. That
how about masters? How about masters? Like having a masters.
And to encounter So who a UK degree who betting use so we need UK degree and yes we B1 test no say who your masters now you encounter who your masters new year betting account.
Okay.
I clear.
Yeah, but I'm more Ghana degree, so yeah, I have to use the numerical or the ethics for them to
give you certificate of comparability. Yes.
All right, sir. All right, lawyer.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I call you after the show?
After the show, the Ajuma Gube so far, to be honest with you, I'm out for a training. So because of friend ya, and ya be me. See, I make us go for Friday friend me. Pressure die so no. And I show them, oh yeah, what the 2 hours prepare? Now the 2 hours are casa. Now we are not casa. What them? Until I did not break it across.
It's like after, like maybe the first of the week, you meet my friend office number now.
Oh, definitely.
I can have it.
You bet your book will be for consultation about. I need free. You're free. I need a okay.
But thank you so much.
No problem. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they can you crew. You're free. I'm glad you have it here. Hello. Yes, wait me and so. With me, friend number here 075389695989. So the mechano, you had you free bonto, no, I'm your worker. But in your free idea, any new BB. Sanity. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Now, what you did is an acca free.
Mr. Perche, lawyer one.
Hey, Mr. Perche.
Lawyer one.
And penny for say, you too for, and so you too shebre. Mr. Perche, about the Kayo, Mr. Perche, and uncle. Papia ne to me for, Papia ne to me for. My advisor, number 1. Oh, no, so I can't ask him, or see you too for, and see you too shebre. And will be a so entries our shebre. There when you go back cano, and not the bed. There is only one, Kwame Perche. La Muhammadu Rasulullah. That's right. Mr. Perche. Now, anyway. Okay, uncle. People have choice, you see. Now, may the view now be taking a say, Sanka Ebeya. Nasa wuti kromu ankwa dia ye ni kromu hanamo adenti na make us same way obi hweme obeka say lawyer no o peskaje enu ti no see ni kromu ano yes eyampa me ya magiska na emom ewiase de utu obi fo a na o ma na afutu a enkofa ohaw ene kodanda emre na echina mpanimfo say ye pa ye be hunu nti ana ye kyereboa na se umu obi fu afutuo na wa ma na afutu papa na ekyira no eho ba asem a enipa no onyi waye so nwa ana mpanimfo sa aka asem bi se adwumasini eni akatua enti na lo ya da akon me wo ba enye de wo pe etie na me ka kyerɛwo de ye ne kore no enam de be ye adwuma emra no ema ho kwan ese utini egu aware no Ghana fine but ebia dachi bi no o ba be use no okromu a afo de beko no yes ade ne ko e fake ade ne ko aye nyintu ana yehu bi da na ehu sem bebrebe afi na eche na aka kofa how abrel na emom se ye kromu ade a ana kitawa na so de commend pa no okromu a the chances of a catch say ye fake onyintu enye papa no less. Shall say okwakopa adwuma na kita Ghana passport na kita British passport. Wo dey send you treat you udru won na de share nsema. Oh who say British e bi okra won hwe because we just go. Eye Ghana bia ye biem na ye ensa
e de na mo picture ne so baby a visa bo ye de nsi etwi so ni a se ye faker enti no media ne say sankebe ya oye no kromu a wasum adwo yes oye no kromu a ni boarding oye ne Ghana e cheap. The question is say o pasum dwie anase o pe botom dwie and pedin for say o besoma honam tintin na mbom wasum de enjo woda so entadin de wo ya na wa ya ade a enkofa problem emrew in the future enti media ma future be man say obenya jeni okromwa yes ne boarding but ekitawa esombo yenya ye krom kra ye Ghana kra no se wo di kromwa divorce certificate ko kire wo ma omo beje atum straight away wo de fa Ghana de sa kire Ghana for e wo Ghana one about the questions e be busa so enti no what sabet bi no Ghana no personally I take the view say wo ye no kromwa na kita kromwa de me feel say wasum bejo na meka sa asem we de ba betwem 2012 man bi ekohia wo baby omo yo magye so mbe ware na oba no na obare da emom ye divorce no e wo Ghana omo call register wo Lambeth Council e call some kwako ware no bibia go through adanu na omba be ware no adanu e ka cho mo say general register e the letter ba say omo divorce certificate no it is not recognized in the UK in Chaware no ya mo ware na geye me ya pa ne say na enipa ne visa ewu sa da no na enti me ne omo ye nhihye say omo ware wie yo mo saka marriage certificate na no they should march straight to my office so that I can put in the application before so ban visa ne bewu enso so no fofie antoata ema sebi omo ntimi anware application ne ntimi anye enipa so na ompeso be trauma ne visa ewu enti wasa packing esa call back to Ghana. The plan was untangled. Enti no sika de ye betoy ye be say jawoko yes we are that when the brand me charge images can medi but we mu no ana me pel sekes kan ko dia e bia there are so many ways and means I can meet me afa e de enye skani bi but me de ne kre no ana ebeye medjuma oba de be boa no me ka kire because if we are see empo no sometimes you know you have to save someone from himself. Because obi on ma ebia or the value too much ebetu scan so na ebia akoye de airfo e kire bi no na ne na abrewa bi a otimi ba bia odi ni hia na afi na or the asem airkwa akoshe no na sebe emperi force aka asem bi say aboa na ntwie empo ni bodia yese enka neto na okonfo a obekita e de akom e de atu nhire enti ewiase bibia wo na wie
Thank you.
E da se dey
Me ba jo secondly Madam Viso, King, too many and too many patrol. I apply for tax return. Now, HRMC, I just cannot accommodate accountant. No, yeah, I will pay 50,000 something. I'm a accountant, no council. But I'm afraid I got HRMC for no. I'm a confirming and correct. I'm going to say I am a tracker of Naganso. Now, I got a little bit of first condition. But just out after my father said, okay, and a crack. 13,000, I'm on 8. Well, fine. So I was here. I'm on the check is what? Take all the control and accounts about a free check. Now I was about your sale of any check about I was in free check.
Okay. Okay. Ayana and Semono Ebanesa na ane be depende contractor eni pano any accountant ne koye. Men pese met na hanomo na masha siye ebia mano na meba bekansem ewa bra minim agreementa omo ye de omo ekoye. Na de metin aka ne say sikano eye ononi sika entina accountant no entimi enkanchen se me fa 5 wo fa 8 says agreement no moko ye dia then the accountant is entitled to charge his reasonable amount of money Now, question we say say any panel or your accountant are you regulating and answer or your galamsey accountant for EB. So your accountant are you regulating? There are regulatory bodies. Ubet me the complain ako. Now the meeting I can say BB say it was a ubuku appointment. Now uba chambers. Now my kakrata free. Na yeso yeke de ye taking on officially. Na ye tro komeni panania man warning. Say one first kana ma one ye didn't be call the regulatory body and complain about his conduct. Say eno anya adwuma ye betimi de na court for owing you that amount of money. Entino sika de osika onsa de ebeka na embom method anase mechanism ye be use ama onsa keska no. Eno na e was say yitimitina ase na ye strategize na lawyer da akonde we dim say ye de adwuma de ebe yo ye sika so de ebeji and he said if you are prepared to pay nko ade a eno de ebe ye adwuma pa ma the tell make us and say man be friend me this week was lawyer I hear say you are very good but you are very expensive and I say yes expensive dey bia obeka se meye na sebe Ferrari na fe any abia your friend is saying Vauxhall Debbie because tia quality na so nya quality I didn't think ese wusu because ese yenuen ufi sen ko for reputable company ana ko mo ye na accounting man anko benya sa problem we anka onya so sometimes experience and reputation count for something eti yenuen no enya accountant bia na ya accountant fa accountant per obia sebe is regulated obia fi di ho dance obia owo good reputation because obi ohonoma oni reputation it is got nothing to hide 15,000 as 13,000 AB Kinse be can small boy bi da ina kokomu so na afi ne boni abanitirim but reputable companies say justice and law oba usika sika nye dia sebe obi sika eshe obi bottom and therefore no you don't have the right to keep it and you very much is right and you catch me and say mama na ba mu mo mpaba sika no de obehuye ya ne sabeka why I say obaso ama ebini entafre enye so beba na be say ana lawyer enso to ana former odin ana sasem kada mimpaji so ana lawyer nyaminshraw ana lawyer nyaminshraw ne ntwam bills so nyaminshraw ye but eso dua nya bi bills pacho so ati be make na say
last one so pacho madam galuso oni worry ama the mama to 2.5 or Figana. Now, no one played more. I don't know way. But I never said that about any individual. I don't know everybody who could my Acorano. But not if you say, yeah, about an individual find some other Abba. I'm of the case woman and Yadum. And about individual Amano. Is it also I allow a bit of the book of Macorano?
Yes, Sir Oba. Na so kita British passport at the time of birth for now. Yeah. Emema ni bi ewo hobby. Omo de wontimi nsho mo ho so. Baby obedu biara obe produce agu ono. Enti emra no ema ne ho kwan. Ema ne gi passport ema ne ba.
Okay.
Oba de na ana aye a bit complicated in the sense say oba se owaria na se wowo a bema na waware no oba na waware no obema na waware no on dey akra ne papa because of paternity regulation but oye bema na so waware na kotwa fa nche na wowo a eno de ono yire se moti mo ho ase de a ene na se your oba na betime prove say your oba se DNA problem a ene no no you can get it for your child.
Okay.
Mremo no obetime agya ma oba mi hu na agiri bia e wo say because your oba worst case scenario you beka say enipa ne ko ye DNA o ko ye DNA so a your oba e betinya ha adwene whereby ye DNA be prove say your oba na prove say your oba enti no So I can say enko ha adwene dia eno de I cannot tell because oba ni be ma no kwa de bitimi akire say akra yo mo ba na say nyo mo ba. Aha. It is ana me make no. Why? Yes.
Now but on the 4th of February,
hey, na say eye we de me yi me hu free ma enye yi. Esimenaso. And he said, who person who lawyer was up to Adia, and you know about life and colored, you know. I don't know, yeba be dear Sankasa. I don't know, yeba be celebrating the life of Waleleko. And Sadani me drew on my friend lawyer, me yaton chen. Yeba be chi always. Zekasa always out here see. Yeba be chi sonoku. Yes. You know the positivity and answer no, and no evidence in my bed or no. Sa pe. Come on, or Sasa, no, you say, hey, I'll call you a guy. Okay, no problem. All right, that's it. Thank you very much. Your last caller. I see pay before any other stories. Hey, Bompata in your Churchill. Nana Bompata, I day. Many baby out. Many in a book code in the Ye na book room. Many picture better. Or see, oh, what do you fear now, Davy? Me wa haya. Obi kai. Me teacher na me dey me to hono. Picture bi am ni twa some time ago. No. Let me say you never go so there ba. Was it to teach, you know, you need to have a training. Yes, true. You need to have some sort of training because a Kroma Niamano is different from Abia Ghana Niamano. However, QTS not a synchro for coin from actually working. But say no, you don't need to pass the QTS to teach. Whilst you are doing your training, you know, in some cases they will allow you to teach as long as the other staff is also in place. And I said they will ask you to be shadowing another teacher, waiting for you to complete the training. And you know, that is the difference, Abem. Yeah, fair last caller, I know, right? Okay. Was it pay before any other stories? You pay complain, you pay long talk and then have talk be Oban Wetri and I say when you do can I say Oko baby. In your Bakodia also Kabana Amwa Consul, what are the requirements for teaching in the UK? MSA and then I can want some all this while no. It is about video media. May sure say obviously to teach in the UK you need a teaching qualification to teach in the UK. But the can say oh outside now see we teach another country now experience countries which is Ghana and Nigeria, Jamaica and Zimbabwe. Now person we teach with UK. Today's focus was targeted at them. Because I work qualification to teach in those countries, you know, from 1st of February, Ubeti be teaching in UK without going to do what we call qualified teachers scheme training, and I say exams, you know. And to be teaching in UK direct. And to know nipa na offer you man or na ebedi or bet on the requirement or pay. And to say be a geography teacher, into me before say bechere ebia mass, ebia you know nothing about mass. And to nipa na be requirement, and I say specifically what he's looking for. The higher say teachers qualification. And the teachers qualification who go UK dia assembly worker. Say when you go UK and on the account one seven say open say oba. And you know they make me account of no. And you so about audio niti am ye sure so betia see. Ye fair last call and ye fa dwumadi ne emra na wie.
Oh chedi ampon. Jimetata na fa me ko dufie jojo.
One more call, and you bring the program to an end. This program was brought to you by Justice and Law Solicitors. My name is David Darkham, Justice and Law Solicitors.
We are based at Unit 35, B49 Emperor Road, Justice and Law Solicitors. Oh, that's really. And me say, you are not feeling our bar. And me say, questions I will be saying, I are covering in under that. And to the meeting, I catch on and say, comment section or screening, and I say, Peja Equa enim, Upeja qua enimwa. Ubehun say agencies are omu recruiting in ama yede about 10 about the to one more. Mesrel go back to the beginning of the program. Nina ewo honenyan to wasene utia ebeboye. Na almost so mo twem office me nkoda me nkoye adwuma kakra na me mpe kakra entafre. I mean yesi do ye hwehwema de no on pepa ne nsakwa na yeso so yenya de yentimi move on into other things. Enti yebesrem Mom busa questions ni nyina no moko comment section wana se body kosoro a mo behu se there is a lot of information there. The mo busa nyina no ye di kan cover dada e say BBC mo kwan enti bo ntimi an join us from the beginning. Enti ebesre mo nko back na mo program ntie ubehu niema ni nyina wo ho. The mo busa nyina no ya cover agencies are recruiting in an mabupo munine din so se obo program niti a ubehu. You go to their website and you apply nina na eboa mi yetimi koyeni yan fa last call and yan fa dwumadie no emra de wie. Hello,
good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Na pacho one e ka say na ka say free here.
Pacho mama me boatman we ka say free Dawson.
Mama boatman jenim yan kwai.
Very smart ne.
Aye. Mo paibo.
Also say experienced lawyer.
Yes.
Lawyer with registered.
Yes.
And then lawyer wo ko jira baby no wakasa baba donors.
Debbie.
Wako tla a coffee and a coffee ase. No wako coffee na wako kasa wo. We experienced lawyer with registered. And some punk one out there.
That's right.
Lawyer. What can some what's the whole meduma? Obi Vavisa, the Mantini, Obi a Visa side now, we did the near. Ombra will change, but a junior day, and we'll set it to be. Company, what they are to, I'm not a
Sa pepe, because
open. WhatsApp number now, what they are to one. But the people say, and yes, oh, Fred, no, maybe a question or Bajo.
Debbie, you come to Chambers.
Yes. But all friend, office from my appointment.
That's right.
Engineer, secretary, the car with it to work.
That's right.
President, make it clear. Somebody will be on the floor. What's happening? I'm a lawyer. I'm a Sanka. I'm a WhatsApp on the Sanka. And what is our neighbor?
Made our CP, so watching a general Abbasadi we so because Anna MP, you know, Obua or Padini free. Time I say, be friend advice me for free, no on free. Tama esi tu ono no na wa freo na obi so IPS ka bet na wani say ye adwuma ma no odi betua bills ha wo ye say adwuma no ono enya wa na ne bua say afu no say complain esa say wo kire wo bi e bossa na enye fe enti e betre mu ye ba hade a ye say ye free na mom say wo frɛ secretary na be fa ye secretary of appointment no be book ama.
Yes.
Because yes, some network program so free advice. Sebe, yes, do sini. A drone do the bemo. Na crowd here do the nyadi obechero. Yes. Na koto we onya se obesa. Enso so no. We bibinti. Enti ne nyane ke be me free o. But yes, your bills yes edua. Sebe. Obi akọ adwuma yetua neka. Enti ade ti na me nkọ adwuma. Na me ye ni free na me de ankotua me bills.
Yes.
And yes, I know ye no sour baby.
Now, what is our Punyano? I can't say Punyano, I'm comfortable.
That's right.
I mean, you know, as a semi comfortable chair, so they want to sound. That's right. And I said, you did not swear. You're back, they are busy program.
That's right.
Yes, and you know, I've been sure some mammy bought money, you know. I could not comfortable pa. I said, pa, I won't say, you know, any one of them. And you know, lawyer, member, why are dear papa, papa? Now maybe you get the American say, and somehow come, mention already, you know, they decided to me, my effort. Myself for a fair to a woman. Our mamma says she has studied a unique Nipayade, and that's our radio song. Because when she wow. Yeah, me, yes, I can afford one at the view. You know, more casa said they will come. You know, Brofono and India for Pia, and you must say that you see answer. Let's get here.
Thank you very much for your continuous support. Justice and Lord, did you do any prayer mono? Our person of friend book appointment, but we are your number 0207 993 5976. South with me, friend mobile number is 07538 969 589. Ajumaguyaso, Yakako Juma. Nyanya kakrata for it. Yedi Yakupon Edamu in Amase. Mon Kosona mon continue na mon refer and conform my because every week Anna a Jimin Sam Obisi Mamu and the number mammy was my money ding. Mamu and the number mammy was my money ding. When a small member was he saying? Nina the any sort of do. Mom support here directly and indirectly. Eja bompata in your church on the bompata hima. Dana sakabia mo do fidia to amutiete ni pensempe de bremo Yakupon ensure na for your continuous support na me enko bibiara ho Yakupon ensure bia so nana akose Jan Kroma the first or your referral we will make sure say they are justified and obibiara with me to bia so Yakupon ensure no abna jemfu aye church abia wo bia so Yakupon ensure what a wonderful program Yakupon enkamu nyina bo ho se etimi amodi afache Saso na Madam Kate Obusua Donko, the mame bako pe identity chroma Pentecost fire, Holy Ghost fire. The church of Munina, Nakopon and Kamonoma mo quantenten. Yes, Panini fear dear, Unimame so a dear, Sana etie, Intimune Damase. Moses Buama, your church baby will biara, Kwabina Amwakon, also baby will be a chia. Abigail Jolly, thank you for your continuous support. And also thank you for your contribution. Obi biara otimi na fidie nto abi ase chiachia mo yedama se mun share program no ebia bibinti na unua bi entimi anye den entie Jonathan Kwachi White City baby a wo bi ase chiachia long time, you know, over 12 years ago, but you are still following us. Yakopo ensure no nyo kese. Mr. Eshen Amwe, Mr. Frank Kwame Owusu baby a wo bi chiachia Mr. Kwame Peche also ye chiachia Obi biara Christian Aku also ye chiachia Kwajo Ajeni Mboaten, yes, Ashton Brantie, baby will be also good afternoon, ye chiachia. Tina Osei, baby fire, also baby will be a chiachia, Yakopon coming in our moho, Monfa and Yumi, in Chap Monase, Yeri Jumediana, Eban, Rie. It's a Yumi Esidia, na a chese, made Yakopona, Edemina, Massi.
Open to me, I fed the media. Open to me, I fed the media. If anything, yeah, me father queen, yeah, open to me. Open to me, I fed the media. Open to me, I fed the media. If anything, yeah, me father queen, yeah, open to me. The beer, Naja say the mini, I'm a real slave boko. Of what one open to me. Open to me, I fed the medium meal. Open to me, I fed the medium meal. If anything, yeah, I'm in for them when yeah, open to me. Kobesa amasasi akasa enso akokontia Efrenya sa kobesa amasasi akasa enso akokona mahokwan Debi amenya besiano ekabo ameto eni enabare mabrabo Ena media kasem se enabare medabrem As my and I'm a man and no, honor be unubi. It's your pata for no so, any terrible quemo.
Better use +5.